Happy Monday nights. If you just joined us, this, of course, is the Dan Corder Show. South Africa is a movie.
Welcome to the watch party.
Yeah, we're still alive, and from one massive interview to another, we just had Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, and now I'm sure you've noticed all of the purple all across social media recently. I'm sure you know about the work of Women for Change, an incredible organization that fights incredibly hard to help people who've been the victims of gender-based violence and children who've been the victim of violence too, to advocate for the rights and the protections of people, particularly women and children in society, to help when like someone goes missing, right? And you're looking for that person who has gone missing. They do wonderful work, and the purple is everywhere for a lot of reasons that we'll talk about in a second, but mainly because of a big plan that a lot of the country is participating in this coming Friday, right? Friday the 21st of November. And that's why I am thrilled to welcome Women for Change is here tonight. Cameron Kasambala, everybody. Thank you so much for, it's your second time on the show?
Third
time on the show.
Third time.
But one of the times you were here before was because you were delivering a petition to the South African government. Mm-hmm. This weekend, you're going to try and give it to the world leaders of like everyone who's going to be at the G20. Tell us about the purple. Tell us about everything that you guys are putting together for literally this coming weekend.
So the purple's coming from our initial petition handover that we did in April, and we gave them the memorandum. We asked them to declare gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster. Okay. During that period, we displayed our unburied casket, and on it there were purple beads, and there was 5,578 beads for the 5,578 women that had been killed from 2023 to 2024.
Wow.
During that time, we also asked people to wear then the purple beads on their profile pictures because of the beads that we had on the casket. Continuing with that same mission, because we received no response, and now even a response we don't agree with, we decided to keep the purple going to follow through with that plan. So that's why you can see the purple profile pictures everywhere.
Okay.
So now we have the shutdown that's happening.
But before that, so I was really interested by this at the time. We all know that South Africa is one of the most dangerous places in the world outside of an active war zone to be a woman or a child. We all know that it is terrible. And so it might feel like a question that's asking for an obvious answer, but I still want to hear your guys' exact perspective, because to call a state of national disaster is a very, very specific thing. It allows the government to suddenly unlock enormous amounts of funds and to create specific teams and projects to address a specific crisis. Why do you think that South Africa needs to declare a state of national disaster of gender-based violence?
I think we'll give you some statistics, because I think when we give numbers, it shows how deep the crisis is. So every day, 15 women are killed. So that makes it every 2.5 hours, right? And our femicide rate is 6 times the global average. We also have 117 rape cases that are reported every single day, and that's only 5% of the cases, hence it's being called the rape capital of the world. And so the numbers are so jarring that it's very concerning. I mean, over the past year, we saw a 33.8% increase in femicide rates. And unfortunately, in the most recent crime statistics, there wasn't even mention of femicide and child murders. So there's clearly a minimization of the crisis that's happening, and the numbers that we have aren't even the most accurate. And so when we're on the ground and we're actually interacting with the people, we're seeing it as a much greater issue than it's showing up as. Right. So it is a bigger crisis than I think the South African government is willing to admit. Right. And that's why it has to be acknowledged as a national disaster, because it is destroying people, communities. It's devastating the impact gender-based violence and femicide is having.
Wow. 6 times the global average gender-based violence. 6 times the global average, and the government doesn't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Wow. Why does Women for Change think that our gender-based violence rate is 6 times worse than the global average? So many reasons.
So many reasons, but I think somehow, with such a violent history, we've integrated violence into culture and into society, which has normalized it. And because of that, there is this assumption that strength and power and control looks like violence. And I think with the dynamics and patriarchy in South Africa, trying to step up and be powerful translates into being violent.
I see.
Right. And there's also this kind of entitlement that comes with women and members of the LGBTQI+ community, because when speaking about gender-based violence, we must also recognize that they are also disproportionately impacted. So there's this entitlement, and I think the biggest thing is the objectification and viewing of them as second-class citizens. Right. It's very easy to abuse and harm someone when you don't even view them as human or equal to you.
Right. And then you guys were planning this massive demonstration this coming Friday across the whole country. And then by chance, but almost extraordinarily, there was this story of an alleged sexual assault at Wits University. You guys, I'm sure, saw it. Thousands of Wits students, particularly women, marching bravely, powerfully, and loudly through the night, actually, some of those protests in Braamfontein, amongst other places, The timing was crazy, considering what you guys are about to do.
Right.
But tell me specifically about what you want to achieve for Friday. And you guys have done a great job, by the way. You've got huge, huge organizations supporting you. I saw Amnesty Africa from Amnesty International has got behind you guys. What's the vision for Friday? What's the plan?
Right, so we're at over 1 million signatures on our petition, which is insane.
Over 1 million?
Over 1 million signatures.
And people don't like signing petitions, guys.
They don't.
How many of you ever sign a petition online? Me, I've never done it. Over 1 million, okay.
Over 1 million signatures. And so, like you say, it's even being deemed the purple movement because there is purple everywhere. And that's part of what we're asking for them to do on the day. So the way the 21st has been structured.
Which is this Friday.
This Friday, the 21st of November, we have asked everyone to obviously change their profile pictures to purple. We're calling for people to wear black in mourning of all the lives that have been lost.
Oh, I see. Wear black.
Wear black because this is essentially almost a funeral. We are grieving the loss of these lives. We're also asking women and members of the queer community to refrain from going to work, whether that's paid or unpaid labor, and also not engage with the economy. And that applies to everyone, whether that's withdrawing money, making purchases, completely showing the consequences of our social and economic absence.
Interesting.
And because we've tried to make sure everyone can participate, we've tried to consider the fact that not everyone can step away from work, not everyone can leave university. So at 12 o'clock, we're doing 15 minutes of silence for the 15 women killed every single day.
Wow.
And in those 15 minutes of silence, we're asking women and members of the queer community to physically lie their bodies down for those 15 minutes.
Wherever they are.
Wherever they are. We've posted some meeting points if people do want to meet. But if you are in your home, if you are at university, in your office, wherever you are, for those 15 minutes, you will lie down in that
15
honor.
minutes of total silence.
Total silence.
Wow, and you can't even doom scroll.
No, but we will be streaming it on our social media so people can participate and be engaged, but 15 minutes, nothing.
I see. And what do you want to come from this in terms of like trying to get attention from the G20 in a moment when the whole world is looking at South Africa? You mentioned earlier that the government didn't respond to your last petition action in April, but then when they eventually responded, it was not a good response, or at least not a response you guys were happy with.
Yeah. Essentially, they told us that they already did everything right. And exactly.
We've already done everything right, and our average crime rates against women and children is 6 times the global average.
Right. And so it's very like, okay, what do you mean? And I was in an interview on SAFM with the Minister of Women, Youth and People with Disabilities. And in that, again, she reiterated, no, we've done everything right. We've got the policies in place. We've got the legislation. We've been funding all these things. We've got partnerships with NGOs. And I asked her, I said, where are your audits and your reports and your evidence? Because they make these high-level promises, but we're not seeing any clear numbers or proof that this is even happening.
Or working.
Exactly. And I'm 33.8% increase in femicide. The NSP was designed in 2019. How? How have you had such an increase? It does not make sense.
Right.
So for us, the reason we're pushing so hard, like you mentioned, with the national disaster, is we need that kind of urgency and that immediate response. Exactly.
Right.
And I think with the G20 happening, we're hoping that with the international eyes on South Africa, it's putting additional pressure on our government to react more efficiently. And with the economic consequences that will happen because of our absence, it should shake something in them to recognize that something is wrong. And we can tell that they're reacting because they've been now bombarding us to request meetings with us. We had a meeting with them on Thursday.
Really?
Even. Yes.
Because now they're worried that it'll be
Exactly.
embarrassing for them because now the eyes of the world are going to look at Johannesburg and South Africa. So now they'll respond.
Now they're responding.
It's like they're suddenly cleaning up Johannesburg. Have you guys noticed? They've suddenly discovered the fact that they have tools and workmen and like if you want to be truly blessed, live on a G20 route. You will get service delivery, I promise you that. It's nice.
They essentially reiterated what we've exactly told them, which is that there's an issue and they need to work on things, and then they said we would have another meeting after that. But alongside this, we've also seen the ANC Women's League is now allegedly also having their own petition and memorandum that they've also had for a while, and they're planning their own events leading up to the G20. And your face is exactly what I'm saying is, now that it's all getting this massive attention that they didn't think a team of 5 people could do, now we're reacting and we're seeing something happen. And
Women for Change is 5 people.
we are 5 people.
Make
on
some
that
noise
team.
for Women for Change. 5 people. That is crazy.
Right.
Well, best of luck on Friday. It sounds phenomenal. Once again, to everybody, wear black. Try to stay away from work and not spend any money. If you take 15 minutes of silence and doing nothing at 12 midday, support Women for Change and get involved online. Watch the live stream. And if you are a woman or part of the queer community, try to lie down for those 15 minutes on the ground in memoriam and to make a protest. Did I get all that?
Perfect. No marches, by the way.
No
we're
marches.
not marching. We're not in the streets. It's not it's 15 minutes of silence lying down. I think that's important to also emphasize.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you so much for being here. Cameron Kasambala, everybody. Make some noise. Thank you so much.